One of the things about that time period, music was not neatly filed in these little components as to what it was. I mean, you could, okay, Byrds played a gig. It was New Year's Eve, maybe 1969, 1968, I don't know. The opening act was Muddy Waters. I went to the owner of the club and I said, no, 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 that should be the headliner. Right? But anyway, that's another story. Muddy Waters, then Fleetwood Mac and the Byrds. Now, if Muddy were alive today, he'd be playing blues festivals. Right? He'd never be on the same stage with a folk band. They just don't mix it up like that anymore. I mean, I remember seeing Richie Havens, the Charles Lloyd Quintet, and Tiny Tim in the same theater on the same night. And you could look around the audience, you could see who came to see who, but it was great because everybody was in this auditorium together for the music. You know? So for what was being touted as the new answer to the Beatles suddenly doing something out of the Bible, it was just part of this big soup we were all swimming in. I mean, you had, okay, the Love and Spoonful was popular, you know, the Mamas and Papas. There was a strong folk element, and I think it was understood by anyone who paused to think about it, was that folk borrows from tradition. And Roger's a banjo player. Pete Seeger wrote the music. And it was an authentic connection. And then the whole idea that the folk rock bands were playing folk music with drums and bass and electric guitars, I think it made a lot of sense. Well, that's what folk rock was supposed to be. You know, folk music electrified. So to take a Pete Seeger song, you know, the grandfather of authentic folk music, and electrify that, it's a great idea.